Normally, I pre-record these videos and just upload them to my YouTube channel. But today I decided to try something different and just record it live and allow people to participate if they wanted to. And what we're going to talk about today is fixing kids' nutrition, how you can get paid from this, how you can build this into a business, a work from home business. This is the number one reason that so many people come to me. The number one reason that they cite is wanting to use their cooking skills to create a work from home business, and fixing kids' nutrition is a way that you can do that. It's a huge opportunity. What got me in particular to make this video right now is these commercials that keep popping up on TV that I keep seeing, and I'm sure you keep seeing them as well. And we're going to talk about it. So let me start by showing you the commercials that I'm talking about.
That time of year again. The real new year is almost here. Whether it's lunchtime with Lunchables or after school with Kraft Mac and Cheese. Game day with Capri Sun. Or snack time with Jell-O. We're wishing you all a happy school year.
Math, history, social studies. It's all been leading up to this moment. Life is short, but lunch is shorter. That's the Lunchables effect.
I'll give you 1/5 of my cookies for 1/3 of your pizza.
Don't lowball me, Harold.
2 tenths. 3 tenths.
Deal.
Willingly doing fractions. That's the Lunchables effect.
So Lunchables likes talking about fractions. Let's talk about it. That's what we're gonna do. They have a whole section in the grocery store. Just went this morning and did some research on this. And let's talk fractions. Since Lunchables likes to talk fractions or percentages. This is their protein pack, turkey and cheddar. 12 grams of protein per serving. And here's some per package details that you normally only get when you flip the package over. But it really doesn't help for it to be on the front if you don't know what you're looking at. And this is the opportunity that you have as a food educator to educate parents about these numbers and what they mean and what they're seeing, because people are making poor food choices because they just don't know better. Sodium is what I'm going to focus on in this particular video, but there are other things that are problematic with these types of products. 770 milligrams of sodium, and they have that listed as 33% of the daily value limit. And let's go to another one, 810 milligrams of sodium, and this one is listed as 35% of the daily value. And here's another one, 930 milligrams of sodium, listed as 40% of the daily value, but that's 40% of what? This is where the fractions come in. 40% of what? The other one was 35%. The other one was 33%. 33% of what? So let's look at what the recommended daily sodium limits are. I just asked ChatGPT for this information. This is a practical example of how you can use artificial intelligence tools to help you build a business. You don't have to know everything off the top of your head. You can just look it up. You can ask. So for adults, so the question is, what's the recommended daily sodium limit for adults? And for most adults, most major health organizations set the recommended daily sodium limit at 2,300 milligrams per day. That's coming from the U.S. Dietary Guidelines for Americans. 2,300 milligrams per day or less. The American Heart Association says ideally you'll consume no more than 1,500 milligrams per day, especially for adults with high blood pressure, heart disease, or who are at higher risk. So let's just take the more generous number, the 2,300 milligrams per day of sodium. That's for adults. What's the recommendations for kids? So that was the question I asked. What's the recommended daily sodium limit for elementary school age children who are the people that are consuming Lunchables? For elementary school age children, health authorities set sodium limits well below adult levels. Here are the widely accepted guidelines. Ages 4 to 8 years, this is the Lunchables crowd. 1,200 milligrams per day is the upper recommended limit. So let's go back to these Lunchable packages and see what we're getting again. 770 milligrams of sodium. And they're listing that as 33% of the recommended value. Well, 770 is 33% of what? That's 33% of 2,300, which is the limit for adults, not children, adults. The children's limit, again, is 1,200 milligrams. So let's see what percentage this is of the recommended sodium limit for children. So 770 milligrams divided by the 1,200, that's the limit, the recommended limit for children. That's 64% of their daily recommended sodium intake. 64%. Just from this Lunchables, just this one Lunchable package is 64% of the sodium that a child is supposed to consume in a day. They have it as 33%, but that's using the adult number. Using the children's recommended limit is 64%. So 810 milligrams of sodium. Let's see what that is. Divide that by 1,200, which is the children's recommended limit. That's at 68%. One Lunchables spicy nachos package is 68% of the sodium that child is supposed to be consuming throughout the entire day. Let's look at the protein pack. 930 milligrams divided by the 1,200, that's the limit, and we're at 78%. 78% of the recommended daily sodium intake for that child just from one Lunchables packet. So let's go back to our ChatGPT inquiry, and I want you to pay attention to this note here where it says that most children in the U.S. consume far more than this recommended daily limit, often 2,300 milligrams per day or higher, roughly an adult's limit, which increases long-term risk for high blood pressure and heart disease. We're in a public health crisis because of what we eat, and it starts with our children, and this is an example of it. Stroke is the fourth leading cause of death in the United States, and 80% of strokes are preventable through dietary change, according to the CDC. What does that look like? It looks like reading labels like what I'm showing you here and making better choices. So how do you turn this into a business? How do you make money from this? And making money is not a bad thing. So please wrap your mind around that if you're struggling with this. Parents are busy. They all are busy, and they all want the best for their kids. Nobody's buying these Lunchables understanding what they're doing. A parent who understands that the actual sodium limit is 1,200 milligrams can pull out their phone and do basic math like you just saw me do here and see that this is way, way too much sodium for their child to be consuming. Even when the information is on the label right in front of them, that doesn't help if you don't understand what you're looking at. If you don't know what the limit is, then there's no context for 770 milligrams or 810 milligrams or 930 milligrams. If you don't know, if there's no context for that number, then it's really meaningless. And so you're giving your children a sodium bomb every single day. This is putting them on the path for high blood pressure and cardiovascular disease throughout their life. By destroying their little palates, by giving them too much sodium, they've become desensitized to salt, and then they need more salt as they get older and more. And they're already starting out as children consuming way more sodium than what they're supposed to be consuming. That's just going to amplify as they get older and start making their own food choices. And so this is how people get put on a path to medication for life. you develop cardiovascular disease, you develop high blood pressure, and the solution from the pharmaceutical industry is pills. The food industry puts you on path for this cardiovascular disease, and in the pharmaceutical industry, the answer is medication for life. Put you on these pills, and you're taking these pills for the rest of your life. So again, how do you make money from this? How do you build a business from this? There are so many parents out here who would pay you to advise them on their child's diet, meal planning consultations. And for some business owners, caterers, and private chefs, maybe you want to earn a living you want to make money by preparing food for people. You can do meal prep. Some of you are already offering a meal prep service. You can incorporate a school lunch element to your meal prep services where you're preparing school lunches for some families. Other folks will go the teaching route, which would I recommend. Food education pays way more than food service, and food preparation. You can educate parents. You can offer a consultation where they schedule an appointment with you to get on Zoom and talk about nutrition. You can do a pantry audit. They show you what's in their pantry, and you can point out the things that are problematic and help them understand what they can do to replace it. Number one, why is it problematic? Number two, what they can replace it with. And these are consultations that people will absolutely pay you for. There are plenty of 2-parent households, both parents college educated, got great jobs, and they got Lunchables in the pantry because they don't know better, because at no level of education are we taught about nutrition. Unless you go to school for nutrition, you never take a class on nutrition of any type. This is where you can step in and be an advisor to these parents, to these families, and provide information that they will eagerly pay you for. And you're earning a fantastic living, and you're improving somebody's life. You're improving the health outcomes for that family, for that child. That child grows up knowing how to eat. They become an adult who knows how to eat. Then they have kids, and they can teach them how to eat. And this is the kind of impact that you can have simply by taking your phone to the grocery store like you saw me do. Take some pictures of pretty much anything that's in there. Anything in the grocery store that's not in the produce section is going to be problematic. If it's in a package, if it's in a bottle, if it's in a bag, if it's in a box, it's going to be problematic one way or another, whether it's ingredients or nutrition. The nutrition panel or the ingredients panel, one or the other, there's going to be something there that's problematic that you can use to educate, and people will pay you for this. There are grandparents who would pay for this consultation because they're dealing with the effects of this. A person who's grandparent age in the United States, more than likely they're on more than one medication for some type of chronic disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, variety of other things. And when they understand how they got there, what's producing this, they want the best for their grandbabies, and they will do anything, move heaven and earth for their grandbabies, spoiling them with all kinds of stuff that everything they want to spoil them with. These are people who would absolutely pay you to be an advisor to their family. You could sell this consultation for $500. And if mom and dad don't want to pay for it or can't, grandmother or grandfather certainly will, because they understand. They understand what's at stake here because you educated them. Again, this is about you creating content for your YouTube channel. I promote YouTube. You can use this on any other platform, but really YouTube is where you have the biggest opportunity to build a food education business. And so you're training them, you're teaching them, you're showing them what's the problem in the grocery store. How do you make these substitutions? What do you need to look out for? And people will absolutely pay you for this. At some point, they're going to see enough of your videos to say, you know what, I just need a consultation. I need them to take a look at what my family is doing so that I can make sure that we're doing the right things and not doing anything to harm ourselves, and especially harm our children. This is a business. So at $500 a consultation. One of those a week is $500 a week. One of those per day is $2,500 per week, which is $10,000 per month from just a 1 hour consultation. This is how you build a business. So many folks come to me again with the objective of creating a work from home business. And what do? Well, you got to start taking action and doing something that's going to be of value to people so that you have a reason for them to pay you. You got to pull out your phone and start using it for something other than entertaining yourself. Start teaching. This is basic food knowledge that I'm sharing right here. Just an understanding of what the daily limit of sodium is and what percentage of that daily limit that is in most of the stuff that's in the grocery store. And as a chef, you have the ability to teach people how to make better choices, make these solutions themselves. You can teach them how to do their own meal prep so they can do their own version of a kid's lunch for the week, prep it in advance. Even better, get the child involved in it. Kids are more likely to eat things that they had a hand in preparing. So this is a business for the people who are willing to do the work to build this business, because the first word in work from home business, as I always say, is work. You want the work from home business, you got to do the work. And this is one example of what that work looks like. All this requires is that you take out your phone. You're in the grocery store all the time anyway. This is just part of your grocery store run. While you're already in there, take a picture of something, record a video of something, post it, teach, repeat. That's all we're talking about here. Position yourself as a food educator. Demonstrate your expertise. Use what you know to help people. Folks will contact you wanting more help, and that's your business. That's the business that you can build as a food educator, helping people improve their health, improve the health of their family by simply teaching them about food, delivering basic food education. This opportunity is out here all day, every day for anybody who wants it. So I encourage you to take advantage of it. Watch this video again if you need to, and just take your phone out. You already have it with you. You're already going to the grocery store on a weekly basis anyway. That entire grocery store is a classroom. Use that as your classroom. Pull out your phone, start teaching, give people a way to pay you, and now you have a business. So this is just one example of how you can take your smartphone and build a business, a work from home business out of your home kitchen. As always, I encourage you to take action. For the folks on Instagram and the other platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc., just go to my website if you want additional information, parkroadstudios.com. Let me go ahead and put this on screen. If you have any additional questions, or you want help with any of this, go to my website, parkroadstudios.com. Fill out the cooking show self-assessment. That's what my business really is. The foundation of it is using a cooking show on YouTube as your education platform, as your marketing platform, to get you in front of the world, demonstrate your expertise, and make yourself visible, number one, and then make your solutions visible so that people have a way to contact you for more information and to engage you for your services. YouTube beats the other platforms hands down. Everybody's on Instagram posting, and that's why Instagram is not the best for chefs, in my opinion. If you're willing to step in front of a camera and deliver long format horizontal videos on YouTube, then that means you have a cooking show on TV, because YouTube is the number one TV streaming platform in U.S. households. More people are watching YouTube on their television than Netflix. So if you have a cooking show on YouTube, you have a cooking show on TV. And that's separating you from all that millions of chefs and people posting food content on Instagram. If you're willing to come over to YouTube and create full-length videos, host your own cooking show, there are so many different ways that you can build that into a business. What I just talked to you about in this video is just one of those ways. I encourage you to figure out something that you want to do and get to work on doing it, because this money is out here for you. These opportunities are out here for you, but you got to do the work to get them. So, all right, y'all, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up here. There's my contact info. You can visit my website if you want more information, and I will see you in the next video.